Hey everybody, welcome to Lesser Saints of Discord, where Rimshee doesn't think it's weird to have a black sex doll.
I do not have a black sex doll, to be clear.
Yeah, white people owning black sex dolls. Rimshee thinks it's totally cool, and there's nothing weird about that.
He just loves fucking with me.
This is what we call gaslighting, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, I am in an abusive relationship. Someone send the cops.
Yeah. Anyways. Y'all have a good week?
No.
Pretty uneventful.
I got gaslit left and right.
Did go to a party for the Kentucky Derby yesterday. That was pretty fun.
Nice. I like to party. I have to wait a little bit before I can party again, though. And a little bit longer before I can party, you know what I'm saying?
Deana, discipline your boyfriend.
Hey, Deana. I didn't do nothing.
Oh man, that was funny. As soon as I said discipline your boyfriend, the little one just goes
Anywho, speaking of Deana, let's talk about time blindness.
Yeah.
I'm joking, babe.
He's not joking.
Joking.
He complains about you all the time. You should totally punish him.
Jables is like no comment.
So, Rimshee, you want to pull that up?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Alright. Are you going to play the video?
No.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question. So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time, you know? And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else, and then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. You know, provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace. And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time,
while he's working on that,
when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled. And then I asked that person, how can you feel good about yourself upholding this kind of system? And then to think I'm entitled. No, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's entitlement.
All right, let's talk about time blindness. Or
I have an update regarding the time traveler.
CPT.
I said no, you piece of shit. Fucking video.
Yeah, it just kept autoplaying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Very uncalled for.
Time blindness, or as I've known it before, CPT. Or BPT. It's colored people time and black people time.
Oh, God.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Anyways. Set alarms.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
Like,
I have an alarm set for you better be walking out the door right now. Like,
it just further plays into like this pervasive victim mentality that's become a norm these days. Oh, I'm not, like, I'm bad about doing this sort of thing. I'm suffering from something. No, you're just not taking any responsibility for your own fuck-ups.
yeah, there are actions you can take to help you to do the thing that you're supposed to do.
Like, apparently it's common with people with autism or ADHD.
Yeah.
I've got, if that's the case, I'm definitely dealing with this, but I'm not a fucking bitch.
Yeah, speaking as someone who is on the spectrum, I can manage time.
Speaking as someone who might be on the spectrum, I'm obsessed with clocks, so it's not that much of an issue for me.
You know, like, when I had my food service job at the gas station, I had everything planned out and organized in such a way that every single day, like clockwork, everything came out at the exact same time, every day, and everything was done and ready for my breakfast crowd customers by 5:30. Every day.
I know it takes me 1 minute and 42 seconds to put on my jacket, grab my water bottle, and walk to the time clock to clock out on, like, right at the time.
It was like, so like, I hear something like, oh, I suffer from time blindness. It's not my fault that I can't manage my time appropriately. Fuck you.
I have issues with figuring out how long it's going to take me to do a task and thinking it might take me longer than it actually will. I still get the fucking job done.
You know, as Jables pointed out, I was like, there are readily available resources for this. Every motherfucker and their inbred cousin in a developed country has a smartphone. You can set alarms on smartphones.
She took a video on the exact device that could fix her problem.
Yeah.
It's like, no, your entire issue is that you're too fucking lazy to take any sort of initiative. You'd rather just sit around and bitch about it and play your victim card.
It takes like 7 seconds to set up an alarm.
I will say this though, the if she's right that the interviewer was berating her, that's also not cool. That's equally shit.
But if I was that interviewer, I'd be like, set alarms.
If I was that interviewer, I would probably say that we don't provide accommodations, and I would have left it at that.
We don't provide accommodations. You should set alarms if you have that problem.
I mean, I'll sit here and berate the bitch, because I'm an asshole on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand not putting stuff in your calendar and things like that. But when it comes to like showing up to work, especially if you have a set schedule, set those alarms. You just need to set them once.
I set alarms for when I take naps. Just so I don't end up accidentally sleeping all day when all I want to do is just take a quick nap.
Yeah. Deana, you're muted.
Yeah, I know I'm muted. I'm being polite and letting you guys finish what you're saying and not just jumping in and going,
You have the regular guest role. That is what it's for.
I know. I jumped in here.
Thank
I figured I'd let you guys finish. Yes. I just figured that I would, wait a second and let y'all finish what you were saying before I jumped in on this, because
doesn't mean you have to mute yourself.
I do have an opinion. Well, yeah, but
you're
I
a
never
woman.
know
You're not allowed an opinion.
Well, I guess, you know, like, not everyone is Cats, who uses her regular guest role to just jump as, like, you guys suck, and then leave.
I like it.
Right.
It's fun.
One of these days I might do that. I just generally, I don't know. Anyway, so this time blindness thing. Yeah, and thanks, babe. Thanks for lumping me in on this. You are the reason why I'm in here now. But he's not wrong. I do think I suffer from some level of it, maybe a lot level of it, but
yeah, it's called poor time management.
Sort of. I think it's not.
No, it's straight
like,
up time blindness.
I can totally manage my time. I make it to work, right? Like but I do on occasion get in trouble for being late because shit happens, and I just have a hard time with the whole like realizing how long it takes to do a thing, which I guess it can also be an issue with people who have ADHD. Like, we're like, oh no, we can get it done, but it'll take 5 minutes when actually that's gonna take like 20 minutes. Yeah,
this is exactly why at work, when I'm put on a task and someone tells me or asks me how long I think it'll take, I usually give them 4 times what I think it'll take. And I'm usually running, because I think, oh, that'll give me a nice buffer, and I'm usually running right up against that time.
Right. See,
I do the same thing. I give myself a buffer when my boss asks me how long it's going to take. And then I get it done super early. It's like, okay.
You do the whole like Scotty from Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
This is also why I use weasel words like should or probably when telling someone what can be done.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
likely.
I toss in the phrase, unless something comes up, it should.
Should, yeah, that's another one.
Okay, so I just want to make a comment on this coming from a person who, like, growing up, I got diagnosed late as an adult with ADD or ADHD, however you want to put it. Right. So, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Anyway, so I knew nothing about time blindness until like what, a year ago, babe? I don't know. Whenever I found out about it and I discussed it with you and you went, you think you have that, babe? You know, and I'm like, and you couldn't have told me about this because I had no idea that this was a thing. Like, for people who have it that don't know that it's no, let me finish, babe. For people that have it but don't know it's a thing, because I didn't. But once I knew about it, I started figuring out ways with the help of Jables, who's like, I'm super aware. So maybe it's a good thing to have someone like you in my life, babe, help me with this. But
don't feel too bad, Deana.
Anyway, but
Deana, don't feel too bad because yesterday I learned about this.
Yeah. But
we had the time blindness talk when you showed up 2 hours late for a time that you set.
Why are you trying to time blind shame me, damn it? I already admit that I have it.
You set the time. That's what fucked me
I
up.
know. And imagine how I felt. Imagine how I felt.
Like, you fucking ableist. How dare you bring that up?
Yeah.
This might be why the Marine Corps always shows up 4 hours early to everything.
Yeah.
Could be.
Well, I actually know the reason why for that, but it's just absurd. No, it's not a secret. It's quite literally the guy in charge says show up at this time, and that could be exactly the right time, or it could be 15 minutes later, or 15 minutes earlier than the time. And then the person below him, Sergeant Major or First Sergeant or whatever the case is, goes, all right, show 15 minutes prior to that. And then as it goes down the chain, it's 15 minutes prior to 15 minutes prior to 15 minutes prior to 15 minutes prior. Next thing you know, you're showing up to something at 4 in the morning, and it's slated to open at 9, and they don't actually open until noon.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick.
But
Pop said something in the chat. Understanding time blindness is like understanding that someone who's missing a leg trying to run. Sure, they can run, but it's not as easy as someone who has both legs.
right.
Yes,
For sure.
Pav.
Thank you.
We're not discounting that. We're also saying that everybody has a tool that is available to them to help them run.
and this is true, but okay, so here's how I'm viewing it. Like, I think there needs to be a certain level of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if compassion or understanding. Like, if somebody says, look, I have time blindness, I know I have time blindness, I'm working on it, I'm taking these active measures to, correct this as best I can. Like, I don't think you can sit there and go, I have time blindness, so whenever I show up to work for my shift is when I show up to work for my shift, because that's bunk.
That's what she makes it sound
like. Happen.
That's
right.
what
she makes it sound like, are there accommodations made?
Right.
Yeah, most workplaces have like a 5-minute grace period.
I have seen this video and it pissed me off when I saw it, and I have time blindness, and I'm like, no, sweetie, you don't get to say I have time blindness now. Everybody, like, change the world to accommodate me. You need to realize that you have an issue. You need to find ways to use tools like multiple alarms. I have an ass ton of. I have an ass ton of alarms on my phone. I have and I hit the snooze button a lot because that helps me track the amount of time that it's taking me to do things, and I know I have this much time before the next alarm goes off, which may be, the alarm of like, you've only got 15 more minutes to get all your shit together before you got to get in the car and go drive an hour to work.
Like I said, I have an alarm set that's like, you better be walking out the door right now.
As I was gonna say, like, just being perfectly blunt, which a lot of people call me harsh, but I don't care. It's like, in her case, it's like, oh, I have time blindness. It's like, that's a you problem.
Yep.
Right.
That's something that you need to address.
Right. And see, here's the thing. Like, I feel like parents that, let's say, like, I don't know, maybe she just recently found out she has time blindness, and she needs somebody to work with her to, like I said, figure out how to navigate the world despite having time blindness, not the world navigate because, her way. It's like the whole thing. If you like, I think any parent who would have a kid and then you find out they have time blindness, who then goes, well, they just have time blindness, so I'm just gonna, like, it whatever happens. No, how about you raise your kid and give them helpful tools to, like, again, like,
I'll be back.
Like what Pav is talking about. Like, there are things, like, if your kid has a missing leg, you're gonna get them a prosthetic leg so that they can literally walk through this world the best that they can, right? Okay. And that's what we need to do for these people. Now, you can't sit there and, that's my thought.
I think it also depends on the job.
Right.
Currently, my job, nothing changes if I show up late, as long as I work the same amount of time later than I'm scheduled. So they should change my fucking schedule so I start working 7 instead of 6.
I knew that was coming.
Nothing fucking changes.
I was surprised that it didn't happen already. Just saying, but
but there was a position I was in when I previously to my current position where I was a team lead in packaging, and I had to be there on time because I had to dole out the orders for the rest of the team. It was very important that I was there on time. Because if I wasn't on time, then my team doesn't have shit to do. And now they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs waiting for me. So I have to be there. And there are other jobs. Sometimes maybe you're working like a second shift or third shift or night shift. And you are coming in to relieve somebody else. Being on time is important for that because they want to get the fuck out of there. So you need to be respectful to them because now they're stuck there until you show up.
Yes, amen to that. Being a person that has to wait to clock out until my relief arrives because of the job that I do. But I'm also I don't get pissy with people being late unless we're talking half hour or more. 10, 15 minutes. I get it. That's totally,
shit happens.
Let's not make this a habit. But,
Yeah, it's also a difference between an instance here or there and a consistent issue.
Yeah, if you're late 10 minutes every day, it's leave 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a little bit of a stickler. I've got a bit of a shorter time frame for people being late. I will brush it off if it's once in a while. It still bugs me, though. But, again, I spent fucking 5 years in the military. I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps. That kind of shades my perspective a little bit.
Well, when people, for me, when people are late, I start to get worried about them. I'm like, oh shit, did something happen?
Yeah.
Are they okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then poor Jables, because me with the job that I have and the fact that I have to do a fairly long commute, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'll call you after work. What time do you get off? 2:30. How long does it take you to get home? About an hour. Okay, well, I'll give you, just call me within half an hour of you getting home. Well, if I forget, and then Jables is like, babe, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just stupid.
Well, I mean, you also take into account that, we're talking about no-call, no-shows here when I'm talking about it, me being a bit of a pain in the ass about it.
Yeah.
If you know you're running late, and you give me a call, assuming I'm in charge, but you give me a call and tell me, hey, I'm running late, I don't even care why. It could be that that your dog decided to eat chocolate and you had to rush him to the hospital. It could be because you woke up late. It could be because you were playing a video game before work and lost track of time. As long as you let me know that you're running late.
Couldn't get the erection to go away.
Yeah, as long as you let me know you're running late, I don't even care why.
Oh my God.
As long as it's not a consistent thing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm sorry. Jables' last comment, and then I'm just imagining some dude that's his regular thing. And then that's when HR needs to consider whether or not this guy should be on the morning shift.
Yeah. Morning wood, too hard. Yeah, I'm running late. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to go down. I'm doing my best.
But to go along with what Rimshee's saying, I really hate no-call, no-shows. I understand that sometimes in an extreme emergency, yeah, maybe they happen, right? Especially if it's a thing of something medically happened to you and you got rushed to the hospital via an ambulance and you couldn't call and your family didn't even think of calling your work until later.
That is exactly why no-call, no-shows are such a pain in the ass. Because you're sitting there going, is he dead?
Right.
Yeah, even when I was a few years ago, when I ended up going to the hospital for like a week, I let somebody know, be like, hey, let my manager know that this is going on.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah. It's funny because it got to the point when I was still working at the gas station, because I worked 7 days a week, and I consistently showed up every single day without fail, pretty much. It's like, if there had ever been an instance where I didn't show up to work and didn't call, there would have been search parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like something terrible has happened to him.
Yeah, honestly,
Right.
I endeavor to be that person. I'm consistent enough that if something happens and I'm not in at work, people aren't going, oh, he fucking, he's just fucking not showing up because reason A, B. They're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Where is he? Is he alright?
I have a hard time waking up at the time that I have to currently. This is why they should change my fucking schedule, because it doesn't fucking matter what time I fucking show up. Because I'm the only person that does any of this shit. But when I like sleep through my alarms and shit, and like let's say I'm like 45 minutes late, the first thing I do is I call them like, hey, running late. Be there soon.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've woken up hella late, and called him and been like, hey, I know I'm 5 minutes late. I'm gonna be another 45, 50 minutes late. I'll be in when I can.
No, Pav. Okay, I'm gonna shut you down right now. Yes, there are jobs where showing up late's no big deal. Josh changed my fucking schedule. But the reason why that we believe she has an entitled mentality is because she thinks that they should accommodate for her for being time blind.
Yeah.
That's why we think that she has the entitled mentality, because she's pretty young. It's probably a minimum wage job. And yeah, it's based on the information available to us. This is probably an hourly job that requires people to be on time and then work their shift and then move on.
You know, I have to say, she could have asked that question in a way better way. In a much better way, you know?
What's your late policy?
Right. Or, like, I don't know, if she got, like, let's say they offered her the job, right? She could bring it up then. She doesn't necessarily need to, like, be all like, bleh, right? Especially if her time blindness is connected to, like, a medical condition, you know?
Yeah, but it doesn't look like that's her case. Unless you're talking about, like, ADHD or autism, in which case there's a completely other set of issues. But I kind of doubt that the interviewer was as much of an asshole as she implies, because this is basically an "Am I the asshole?" post without the question.
Right. Well,
and that's all performative.
Alarms. I have alarms. I have alarms for everything. Set fucking alarms.
Man, if this was on Pornhub, I would have just pulled up Pornhub and just scrolled through that. Yeah, alarms. Oh, no. Timers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I actually pulled up all my alarms. Those are all my alarms to wake up. And then I have another alarm clock by my bedroom door, so I have to get up and shut it off, and then I'm by my bedroom door, so then I just keep walking.
See, I'm really good. When I've got work or something, I am really good at getting up to my alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have work.
When I know that I don't
I'm just helping
have
other people out right now. And
when I know that I don't have anything specific I need to do when my alarm goes off, like lately, because I'm working nights, I go to sleep an hour or two after I get home.
Yeah.
So most of my day is spent during the day before I go to work.
Nice.
I for some reason can't just sit there, can't wake up to my alarm and go, okay, it's time to get up, and get up. Even though I know that that's when I want to get up. I can't do it. I go right back to sleep.
So,
my normal alarm during the week that I would wake up for when I had normal hours would go off on the weekend. I'd sleep straight through it.
All right. Me on the weekends, my normal wake up time is like anywhere from 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning.
It's too early.
I'd have been asleep for 3 or 4 hours at that point.
That's just the time that I just naturally wake up. 0 alarms needed. That's when I just naturally wake up. It's like I might lay in bed for a little bit and like browse my phone, but I'm awake.
I'm not an early morning person.
Change my fucking schedule to 7 so I can wake up at my normal fucking time.
Oh my god.
If I open my eyes and I don't see sunlight, it's like I shouldn't be getting up.
Oh, you would hate it in Alaska in the wintertime then.
They have me waking up
I
at
would
like
hate it
like
for other reasons. Primarily cold.
I'll stay.
Look, we know you don't want to be food for the bears. We also know what's going on Twitter, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I feel like I'm missing a whole lot of context to whatever that statement just was. What am I missing, Jables? Because who is he talking to, me or Sir? Is Sir doesn't want to be food for the bears? Okay. Which kind of bears?
Nah, man. The bears aren't what you gotta be worried about, man. It's the fucking moose.
What are you gonna do to the moose?
Oh, it's what the moose is gonna do to you.
Moose can swim. They scare me.
As Casual Geographic has said,
Jables, put on some Marvin Gaye.
It's like, with predators, they have to convince themselves whether or not you're worth it or not. Herbivores will just unalive you because they don't need a reason. They just assume that you're a threat and kill you.
And moose can... One of the major predators of moose is orcas.
It's not a major predator, but it is a known predator.
Yeah, because moose try to swim and eat seaweed. And then orcas are like, nom nom.
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy.
Ocean Oreos.
You know, like, when it comes to moose, if you just stay away from the babies, like, you're doing pretty good. Like that's just step 1.
Yeah.
Like, just don't go up to a baby moose because mama is somewhere nearby and she will absolutely fuck you up.
If you see a moose outside, stay inside.
Yeah, or just stay away. Like, just keep reasonable distance between you and the moose.
Stay inside.
I like Pav's response to my statement about the bears.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I saw a bear, like a black bear, animal black bear.
Oh, black bears are fucking everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, I don't normally see them on my drive to work, but I saw one. Something almost got hit by me on Thursday when I was driving to work. I don't know what it was. It looked like a furry potato with a tail. and little short stubby legs. I'd never seen anything. I don't know what it was. What, Rimshee, what?
How big was it?
I was gonna say, how long was the tail?
Not real long, not as long as like a cat's tail, but it wasn't a nubby tail either. It was just it was
Wolverine.
Well, I mean, it you know, and that thought did cross my mind. It's just kind of odd that it would have been on the highway between, you know, like, and so near Anchorage. I've never seen them, like, you know, in Anchorage, wild ones. We have one in the zoo, and that's about as
big furry potato with a tail.
Yeah, that is what it looked like, and I just barely missed it. Like, I like moved my car over just in time to like avoid hitting the potato's head. And I looked in my rearview mirror and it was still scurrying across the road. So I went, well, good. You know. You know, and there weren't that many cars, there weren't too many cars right behind me, so I'm pretty sure it crossed the road. But I had to go to work, so I wasn't going back to check.
Alright.
It wasn't a cat. It was too fat to be a cat that would move that fast.
I want to say my conclusion on the time blindness stuff.
Yes, dear. Please say your conclusion on time blindness.
Time blindness is real. You have all the tools available to you for your job, especially if you have a set schedule, so you should be on time for work. Socially, yeah, your friends will give you some leeway. That's fine. But
and if somebody really loves you, they'll give you some leeway on it too.
Yeah. Like, a lot of employers will have reasonable accommodations. Having to put up with you being late is not reasonable for your employer.
Yeah. Because you might be relieving somebody.
Especially when you have the tools available to take steps to address it.
Set all of the alarms.
Being consistently late. If it's like once or twice, that's one thing. If it's constant, that's the issue.
You know, like, when you're first saying coming out of employers, like I have this thing, like, how are you going to accommodate that? As Jables, if it's like an hourly position, they're just not gonna fuck with you, period.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, I'll just find somebody else.
I think there have only been 2 times in the last 7 years that I've called out of work. And one was because I caught COVID, and it was during that time period where it was very, if you have COVID, stay home. Not that it isn't that way now, but more so. And the other time was when my son was born.
Yeah. The only times I didn't go to work is if it was physically impossible for me to get there.
I've called out of work a bunch because there was just no work with my specific job. I could help out other departments, but it's like,
why?
Yeah. But if the tables is like, I don't feel like being helpful today.
Yeah.
I want to be the selfish asshole.
I think I might take a few days of next week off. Just
in fact, there was a case where we had to cut back on hours because according to corporate we were logging too many hours.
Yeah.
You know, like, my manager at the time was just like, oh yeah, you know, we gotta cut back on hours, so I'm giving you a couple of days off, and I wasn't happy about it because I'd much rather be there working.
Yeah.
But when I came back from those days off, she told me, like, yeah, I'm never doing that again.
Fair enough.
There's nobody can do my job.
Work is so slow for me right now. I saw something that I've never seen before, and it was the upcoming work orders page was completely empty. Like, sometimes there's things that there aren't actual work orders for yet, because like we don't have materials, or like just a work order hasn't been generated yet, or they're like working with the sales team to decide how many of these we'll actually need. And it was completely empty, not even anything prospective for the future.
This economy is pretty shit right now, but that's a little bit politics. Let's not get into it.
Yeah, so that's where my work's at right now. I'm taking a few days off next week because fuck it.
Shit. My work has gotten busier, and this past week I got some overtime on top of it, just because it's getting busy, and I don't know. This job, I like it, and it drives me crazy at the same time. But I have a quick question because I see Pav talking. Pav, I don't know what you do for work, so like, do you have to talk to people as a part of your job? Is that why?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, because apparently he had to work 5 days in a row while mute.
Yeah, he works at a store, and I'm not sure about the other place.
Gotcha. Did you have to have like a notepad or like a dry erase board? Write things down.
Spoke out his ass for most of the time, so, you know, just think of Ace Ventura.
I used bad hand signals.
No, it's bad hand singles.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah.
I read it how he meant it, but...
I mean, as we've seen multiple times, sign language is surprisingly easy to fake.
Although, me being out of work right now is... I'm not like out of work. I help other people out, but me not having work in my specific area has been kind of nice, because the owner of the company has been spending a lot of time in that room, like working on some shit, and that's a little intimidating.
Does he know how to use the shit?
Yeah, he built the company from ground up from like a fucking garage, dude. Like,
nice. So, that guy is in your room making things or something, or?
Yeah, he's working on a new product. He's trying to do some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm right next to like the testing room for a lot of the products.
Gotcha. I like how you're like, for the, I can't say that. For the stuff.
Yeah, I did sign an NDA as well, so like there's
Yeah. Oh stuff happens
and I know
at work.
so much. I wonder if I signed a non-compete.
He squeezes goo into holes and lets it sit there.
He squeezes what?
No, he was. Well, that's silicone injection stuff. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, he squeezes goo into holes and lets it sit there.
It's literally what it is.
I mean,
yeah. What does Jables and a male porn star have in common?
Well, but they don't really squeeze goo. The male porn stars don't really squeeze the goo into a hole. Isn't that like not good for the
it is
spot?
if it's cream pie porn.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
You brought it up.
I didn't expect that response. I guess it's...
And that's your fault.
Oh.
Yeah, where was your head?
I don't watch porn. I don't think in terms of like, if I ask this, he can counter with that.
You know the dumb shit that we get up to.
You
know
that
we're
not safe for work in the Saints server.
Totally
That's the calm shit. Or the old Saints server. That's the calm shit.
Yeah.
That old Saints server got wild with the NSFW though.
Yeah.
I know, and I know that like Rimshee's playing nice with me. He's like not like going full bore like what he could do. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, we aren't even bringing up E-fucked.
Oh, please don't. Oh, God. I've heard about that. I've never... That's like outside my realm, but I've heard lots of stories about it.
You've seen some stuff from there.
All I'm gonna say is, Jables, you should pull up fried chicken for her.
She knows what that is. She's seen
Is that the thing that you showed me?
The fried chicken? Racist porn?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have seen, and I was like, what the fuck?
What about the chicken feet one? Have you seen that one?
Oh, yeah, he did show me that too. Okay, what the hell?
That one was so artsy, I didn't know what I was looking at.
That one is just weird and disturbing.
I wouldn't even classify it as porn.
Yeah, it's an art project more than anything.
Yeah.
It's a fetish thing. So I see where it could be considered porn, but it is more of just like a art fetish thing, fetish art thing. Yeah.
Did I show you the car crash one?
Bet life, baby.
Probably. Somehow I feel like maybe
that one was nuts. They had a car explode and shit. It's like...
Oh, I feel like you did. I don't know.
I might have just told you about it. But
which one's the heels video?
What?
Look at the chat.
Oh, yeah, the heels video. I think that was also in the Pain Olympics. It's the heels stomping on the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
What is wrong with people? Oh my god.
They were fake nuts, but you know, whatever.
I don't care. It's still bad.
People are gross. This is something that you need to know, Deana.
I know. I am so learning that. The job that I have now, it's just unreal.
The weird step on me mommy types are uncomfortably common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like a couple steps below foot fetish.
And
well, when you say below, are you talking worse than or better than in terms of social acceptability?
I think he was talking commonality.
No. Yeah, I was talking commonality.
Because foot fetish is extremely common.
That's top
It
tier.
is the most common.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like in the same tier as like bondage for like, what's the most common fetish type?
Yeah, it's foot fetish, bondage, something else probably. And then step on me, mommy.
I would say the breath play is pretty up there as well.
Breath play, yeah. Also, careful with that. It
usually has crossover with bondage.
Don't cut the windpipe, cut off the blood.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound...
Put them to sleep. Not the permanent kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the windpipe creates panic.
Yeah. Then it becomes DV because somebody's just like...
And you can damage their esophagus. You still get the same effect if you... It's just that.
As a guy who dealt with acid reflux for years, having your esophagus get torn up is not fun.
No.
All right, shall we palate cleanse with some Dear Abby?
Yes, we should.
Yes,
which one should we do? Should we do the my younger boyfriend and his new girlfriend? It seems about right.
Hold on one second.
Wait a second. What was that? Hang on. I feel like.
No, we don't have the wigs.
Yeah, let's do that, and then let's do the one about the concert.
All right.
Oh, that would not be happening with me. Not even a little bit. I don't know. You gotta go.
Dear Abby,
gotta go.
My boyfriend is 18 years younger than I am. Our relationship hasn't been perfect, but I love him to death. Unfortunately, I'm going through menopause and have all the side effects. Long story short, he found another girl. It was just supposed to be for sex, and he told me he wouldn't get into another relationship or marry anyone but me. Well, he fell for her, which I warned him he was going to do. They're both at my apartment. I'm trying to make him happy by allowing this, but he can be so mean to me, and he's so nice to her. He tells me how nice she is, etc. I told him it's because he hasn't hurt her yet. He won't have sex with me now. He claims he isn't favoring her, but he is. I love him so much and don't want to lose him. I'm in so much pain because I can't please him in every way. I don't know what to do. Should I allow this and try to make it work? Or should I give up since it seems like he has given up on me?
Give up?
Yeah, you should have given up a long time ago.
Yeah, that's...
The minute he wanted to bring said side chick in, you should have said, yeah, no, bye-bye, and like, no, that, what the hell?
There might be, there's a lot of polyamorous relationships and stuff like that. So like that.
Yeah,
that
but that's not what that is.
No, that's not what this is at all.
Yeah, no.
It's over. He's using you for a place to live with.
Yeah, it's been over.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just staying with her because she's got good snacks in her fridge.
At the end of the day, when all else fails and everybody else is gone, the only person that you can count on to respect you is yourself. And if you can't do that, then what's the point?
Yeah, and it seems like he stopped respecting you, so you should move on. Kick him out.
Yeah,
Or find a new place and transfer the lease over to them. One or the other.
Right. Yeah.
Take all your shit with you, too.
Totally.
Yeah, take your shit with you, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like all of your stuff.
And,
it should be obvious, but there are people out there who are that dumb.
Well,
yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to give relationship advice because what the fuck do I know about relationships? But, going forward, it's like, if you do move on from this and decide to try again, maybe try and find someone closer to your own age bracket.
Yeah, look for the silver fox.
Yeah, you're getting nothing out of this other than his presence. So
and your heart absolutely crushed at every time you turn around.
Yeah,
does
you
he
get
at least
nothing
sleep in the same bed with
out
you?
This.
That's a factor.
What's that? Say again?
Does he sleep in the same bed with her every night? Or is he constantly with the other girl sleeping in her bed?
It's not exactly the same, but there are similarities. For example, I don't have the best relationship with my younger brother. Mm-hmm. But that's mainly because there's a 12-year time gap between us.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot that we have in common. It makes it hard to relate to him on a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear what Abby has to say.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. Your much younger boyfriend and his new girlfriend live in your apartment rent-free, and he no longer makes love with you. What are you getting out of this charade besides pain? If I thought it would help, I'd advise you to stick it out and hope his romance will blow over, but I can't, because whatever respect and gratitude he felt for you is gone. The pain you are experiencing will end only when you find your self-respect and usher the 2 lovebirds out the door. For your own sake, please do so soon.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with Abby. Yeah.
W response from Abby.
Indeed, the only addendum is the thing that I said earlier, which is maybe find an apartment for yourself and then transfer the lease over to them, unless you have a really nice apartment where you're at right now. You know, that all just depends.
Well, okay. So I think part of it would depend on whether or not he's on the lease too, because if he's not on the lease, get the fuck out, my guy. Like, you want to be a big boy and play around with the new girl, then you and new girl go get a place of your own. Bye bye.
Yeah, but if she's going to be, but if she's going to be single, then she might not need as much space, and she might not need that apartment. She may have gotten that apartment,
and I'd keep it just out of spite. I would. I'm sorry. I'm kind of.
This is why people hate women, right?
Yeah. You know what? Hey, babe. Shit like this is why some people hate guys. Because dude brought in new girlfriend into,
She was cool with it.
Was she?
She pretended to be cool with it.
Not.
Obviously, she wasn't cool with it.
But
she gave the indication.
She's only not cool with it because he doesn't fuck her anymore.
She wasn't cool with it even when he was.
In all honesty,
are you sure about that?
Hold on.
I bet you. If he was being honest,
hold on. She gave him permission. He took it too far, but she was definitely never okay with it. But the fact that she gave him permission does not automatically mean that he's the asshole for doing it.
Okay, but see, here's the part that we
don't even know. Poor
Okay.
communication.
Yes, very poor communication. But here's the other thing too. Who brought up here's part of the thing that we don't know. Who brought up that he should get a side chick? Was it his idea? Was it her idea? And what is the dynamic between those two? Did he bring it up to her going, you know what, babe, because you're going through this thing and you don't want to have sex and I really have a high sex drive. My sex drive is so high and I gotta have some sex and you're just not into it anymore. So what I need to do is find somebody else to have sex with, but it'll only be sex with her because I love you, babe. Babe, you are my world, and I would never fall in love with another chick. It's just going to be a side chick to have sex with, and then when you feel
that's probably exactly what happened.
It is, and you know what? And you know why? Anyway, it is the
she's still okayed it.
Bullshit. She okayed it in the moment because the dude told her that it was just a side chick thing, and then she probably thought about it after agreeing.
Yeah.
Dude, you can change your mind. You can rescind consent.
It's still
remember?
On her.
I'm pretty sure
totally
this is a thing
but you need to talk about that.
Okay. But I still think that, and how do we know that she didn't say, well, I'm kind of not okay about this anymore? And then he went, well, you already said okay, and I got the side chick, and I'm gonna bone her.
According to this, she never did.
Don't know that she never said it. She said that she never said she wasn't okay with it anymore.
She said she hasn't even talked to him about it.
Well, that's on her. That's her, absolutely her fault. And she should have said.
Hey, Mickey, thanks for the sub.
Spoke up. Hi, Mickey. She should have said because anyway, I have opinions, but we already know that I have opinions, and I think I've stated my opinion pretty well. First off, I would have just said no. I'd have been like, okay, if this is a big problem for you, then, maybe we shouldn't be together anymore, and it would hurt and it would suck. But in the long run, it would be better for everybody.
But in the case of this individual, that's not the choice she made.
It isn't, and I feel bad for her. I wish she had thought it out further. I wish the guy would not be using her for a place to stay. He should.
Opinion, at the very least, it reflects poorly on everybody's emotional intelligence.
Oh my
Why
God,
are you
Skupp
so
is here.
quiet?
Hi, Skupp.
Yeah, Skupp's been here for a while, just waiting to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't mute himself either.
He did. You can get wrecked. He did.
For a while. I was muted.
Hey, Cats, thanks to 3 biddies.
Hi, Cats. Cats, come in here, jump in, and tell Rimshee that he sucks, and then jump back out. He likes it.
We're doing Dear Abbeys again.
Wait, is Deana outing that Rimshee has a humiliation fetish?
No, because I'd have to have I would have to have a humiliation fetish for her to out it.
And even if you did have one, it wasn't me that outed it at this point. I said nothing.
Yeah. So, long story short, he's not having sex with you. He's not into you anymore.
Yeah. Clearly,
Cats.
Very simple.
I'm here apparently to tell Rimshee that he sucks. I don't know why. But since Deana requested it and Deana's wish is my command, Rimshee, you suck. Anyway, bye guys.
Have a good one.
Bye, Cats.
Alright.
Thank you, Cats.
And that is how you properly use a guest roll.
Yeah, long story short, leave the dude.
Kick his ass to the curb.
If you got a bigger apartment because you two were living together, maybe search for a smaller apartment. And if his name is on the lease, just find your own shit. It's fucking, it's over.
Okay, so because we're talking about that, I'm just curious, what do you guys think that the man in this situation, let's say he finds out about this or she has a chat with him, what should he do at this point? Anything?
Well, he's already done what he's gonna do. He's gonna bang the side chick.
Right. But when
Which
he
seems to be his main chick now.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So here's when she brings this up to him, should he move out? Or should she be the one to go, well, maybe I'll find, or should he just go, you know what? I'm sorry I did this to you. I didn't realize.
Oh, it depends.
Hurting you this bad. In those.
Well, he doesn't realize.
It depends on how things are being paid and the reason why they're in that certain apartment.
If she already had
it's obviously a 2-bedroom.
He should be getting the fuck out.
Is it obviously a 2-bedroom though? We don't.
Yeah, we don't know.
She with the side chick.
Yeah, but she could be on the couch, a pull-out couch. You never know.
Okay. Or vice versa. They could be out in the living room.
Okay.
Kind of weird and gross, but.
My cousin lived in a duplex with 6 other people. The only married couple among them had the bedroom. The rest of them chilled out in the living room. It happens.
Yeah, I've lived in a closet before. I get it.
And when I initially came back home, I had a room, but for a while I slept on the floor because I didn't have a bed.
Yeah.
Mickey, I'm a black Jewish ginger. What's your question?
Yeah, he's a ginger and
Anyway.
He's not the ideal master race.
Big question is, did I say it or didn't I?
But yeah, it's over. You need to tell him it's over.
Yeah.
And then work shit out from there. That's all you can do.
He's over it, trying to ride it out. Maybe things will change. He's enjoying the new flame too much. It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's keeping a side chick for when he gets bored of this chick. That's really all he's doing.
You became the side chick.
Yeah.
At the very least, at this point, you have to do it for your own self-respect.
Yeah. Well, no, just for herself. I mean, she's already going through like, you know, a big thing, and then she's got like this painful situation that's just, you know, a constant reminder of how she's not good enough for the guy that she's in love with, you know, and that's like terrible.
That reminds me, that's another factor. You're going through menopause.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably a pain in the ass to deal with right now.
Wow.
And
oh,
I mean, tell me the lie.
That will be so bad. You, oh Lord.
Menopause is like a 2 or 3 year period. It's fucking awful.
I kind of got to take Deana's side on this one. This guy kind of sounds like a sleazebag.
Yeah, no, this guy is totally probably a sleazebag.
We're not arguing. Jables is just coming with a potential alternate statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
the comedic effect entirely.
No, I mean, like, yeah, for the comedic effect, but I think deep down, baby, you really do want to be punished for some reason.
We know he wants to be punished.
It'll be good.
He wants a daddy to punish him.
Well, we have a
problem.
I'm
good.
He says that, but we all know the truth.
Are you sure that's not projection?
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I definitely don't want a daddy to punish me.
You're not convincing me.
Yeah. Fair.
All right. Let's go to another interesting one.
We gotta finish this page. It'll probably be useless, but we'll finish it. I am super outgoing. Always have been. I can walk up to anyone and start a conversation. As I've gotten older...
Hold on. Time out. You just went on to the next Dear Abby?
Yeah, the one right below it, because they do 2 per page.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean we have to do it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll discuss it later. That's how we were doing it last time.
We're not the completionists.
We were having a lot of fun.
We're not scamming people on charities.
Oh yeah, this one's all about the pandemic. Fuck that
we
shit.
Stumbled into doing all of them. We didn't.
This one's about the pandemic. Yeah.
I don't really want to talk about it.
All right. Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. I'm super outgoing. Always have been. I can walk up to anybody, start a conversation. As I've gotten older, I've noticed many people have no personality. During the pandemic, it became exponentially worse. Neighbors don't speak. People look at their phones every waking minute and have lost their conversational skills. It is pathetic. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the pandemic. People are just in their fucking phones and in their own fucking headspace all the time. You're a fucking retard. Go home.
Yeah.
It got worse during the pandemic, but that's different.
There we go. There we go.
That's not where this problem started.
Yeah.
And it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to my niece. She's super cool. Not on her phone all the time.
Nice.
All right, what are we doing next? Are we hitting up the wife and husband are no longer in a mutual profession? Are we doing Columbia Professor?
The concert one.
All right, on the Mercury this time. Yeah. Dear Abby, my stepdaughter.
No. Start these off with Dear Lesser Saints.
Dear Lesser Saints, my stepdaughter gave her daddy, my husband, concert tickets for just him, her husband,
Time out real quick. The fact that she says that her husband is his daughter's daddy grossed me out.
Yeah,
that
made me a little uncomfortable.
I'm not gonna lie, that one made me feel some sort of way too. I'm all like, ugh, that's
like,
not good wording.
Why did you phrase it like that?
Just dad.
Because that's what she calls her husband.
Gross.
Oh god, that felt gross saying. Oh.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
Now we all feel gross. You're welcome, you fucking. Yeah.
Can't say that word on Twitch.
All right. Anyway, dear Lesser Saints, my stepdaughter gave her father, my husband, concert tickets for just him, her husband, and herself, and not me. I was given no warning that she planned to do this, and all the tickets were all sold out when I went online and looked. Not that I would have gone anyhow, which, that does not make sense. Why would you have fucking looked?
Yeah.
It would have been pushing my way in there where I felt I wasn't wanted. How should I handle this? I know my husband is struggling with it, and I'd like to talk to him about it. I feel like he's being put in the middle and feels he must go because his daughter bought the ticket. Should he not go and make his daughter mad, or go and make me mad? How would you handle this? What should I say to my husband so I'm not the bad guy? Go fuck yourself, woman.
All right, there are several pieces of information that are missing from this.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been the stepmother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a recent thing? Has the kid had already, like, another stepmother before you?
Also, there was a telling bit of dialogue from this individual. It's like, oh yeah, my daughter got this thing for herself, her father, and her husband, but not me. Not that I would have gone anyway. So why the fuck are you bitching about it?
Exactly.
And also, should he not go and make his daughter mad, or go and make me mad? Don't be mad. That's on you.
You just admitted that you wouldn't
That's
have gone
your
anyway.
choice.
See,
that's probably why she didn't buy you a ticket, because
sounds
she
to me like the best. It sounds
to me you're a cunt.
It sounds to me like the best advice I can give is to the husband: get a fucking divorce.
Yeah.
Save your dineros, because it's gonna happen.
But
So,
if she wants this relationship to work out, enjoy the night by yourself. Get a bottle of wine, light some candles, watch some House.
Call some friends. Go out somewhere.
So, what
have a ladies' night with some of your friends.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Here's what I thought was really interesting, where she's all like, my husband's really uncomfortable with this, and I'm like, why?
Probably because he's afraid that you're going to get pissed at him for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then his daughter's going to be mad at him for fucking for reasons.
She's putting him in a really uncomfortable position. Actually, she's like setting herself up, in my opinion. She's kind of setting herself up for a first-rate divorce, because, like, in all honesty, and over something this trivial, if you're going to pick a side, side with your kid. Pretty please.
Always side with your kid in a case like this.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
Well, in a case like that's what I said. In a case like this,
this is just a case of a bitch looking for problems.
This is a case of a lady going, I finally have a story to tell dear Abby. Yay!
Yeah, and also, maybe the husband actually bought the tickets instead of the daughter. But he was like, hey, I can only get 3. And your stepmom's only been your stepmom for like 2 years. So, I don't know.
Wait, and do we even know if this is a concert that the stepmom would want to go to? Maybe she doesn't even like the group or whatever.
She said she wouldn't have gone anyway.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely some cope.
Me. It's like she didn't buy a ticket for me. Not that I would have gone anyway. That's probably why she didn't buy you a ticket, bitch.
Right.
It's not your jam.
Assuming this isn't her just coping and saying, well, I wouldn't have gone anyway.
Right.
It might be a cope. That's fair.
It could be a cope. That is fair.
It could be, or it could be that they're having, that the thing that stepmommy is not saying is that there is an issue between the two of them, because it makes it sound like, well, if she'd bought 4 tickets, I wouldn't have gone anyway because she's a bitch. Or, you know, because she borrowed my favorite shirt and got a stain of coffee on it. And I wouldn't go to that concert with her if she were the last stepdaughter on the earth. You know, like, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, she looked online to try to get a ticket.
Right. To try to prove that the stepdaughter could have bought her a ticket. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, she's like, oh, well, why didn't, you know, she's probably trying to, like, be able to look at her husband and go, oh, she could have bought a ticket. She could have bought a ticket, but she didn't. She didn't buy a ticket.
I know the tickets are like $200, and I know I wouldn't have gone anyway, but...
That little bitch hates me. She always has. Why is your kid such a problem?
Right.
Maybe the concert's something that her and her dad, like, it's an artist that's kind of special to them. And it's also how she met her husband, because they bonded over that. So it's her husband, and her dad, and that's just sort of like, it's an artist that they sort of bond over.
Right.
It's a very cute thing.
There's a lot of information.
Have a girls' night. Stay at home. Drink some wine.
There's a lot of information not included here. A lot of information that's required, but the fact that the information isn't required, it strikes me as, this is a you problem, bitch.
Yeah.
Another one of those, yeah.
Alright. What does Abby have to say? What you should say to your husband is the truth. Tell him to go to the concert, honey, and have a good time. I'm just confused about why your daughter didn't include me. I'm not confused.
I'm not necessarily confused either, but I think that is a good point to bring up to the husband because communication's important.
Oh no. The only thing that the only thing I'm arguing with is the I'm just confused about why your daughter didn't include me line. I think we can figure it out. I think Abby is just trying to be...
Yeah, stepmom, you seem like a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, Abby's right. Like, the correct answer is, like, have a nice time.
Yeah.
Guarantee you that last part of the line is included. I guarantee you that last part of the line is included just to make it seem like Abby doesn't understand this bitch is a cunt.
Yeah.
Which cunt?
I think the big determining factor in all of this is how long has she been a stepmom?
Yeah.
And
if you're
because
that could change how I view this entire thing.
Yeah, but if you're an outsider to this relationship, then you kind of have to recognize that.
Yeah, it could be that they met and after a month got married and they've only been together for about 6 months and the daughter has had these tickets for about a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because oftentimes if it's a big concert, you better buy that shit in advance.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It could also, like, here's the other thing that we don't know. What if it's a thing of, what if this stepmom is the reason mommy and daddy broke up?
Ooh,
You know?
Yeah.
That's another good point.
Yep.
So, you know.
Yeah, like you don't mention at any point what your relationship with the daughter is.
To be fair, if she's the reason mommy and daddy broke up, there is a decent chance that the daughter would also not would be a lot more limited in her interaction with her dad. So, I mean, it's not a guarantee, but I think that's less likely.
Right. Okay. Well, here's another scenario since we're going through what if scenarios. What if this is, let's say, okay, that mom passed away or something, right? And now dad's remarried to stepmom. What if this concert is a concert that mom, dad, and the daughter would go to whenever they came into town, and daughter's not ready to have stepmom be a part of that yet?
That is.
Oh, I'm not saying. Yeah, that's also a factor.
Yeah.
But that still goes with the too soon situation I said earlier.
Right, exactly. But I agree with you guys. Like, stepmom just needs to take a
Chill
step
the
back
fuck out.
and think. Yeah, and
yeah.
Stepmom needs to be a grown up and think things through and not put her husband in a shitty situation and make him have to choose between her or the daughter. It's really rude. It's a terrible look.
Yeah, because based on the
this sounds like it's a recent. This sounds like a recent stepmom because her dad and her husband are more important than the stepmom. So this seems like a recent thing.
It's possible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, you know, I don't care who you are, even if you did bury the person. Like, it is never your position to try and insert yourself between a man and his children. Fuck off. Don't do that.
The correct answer when it comes, most of the time, the correct answer when it comes to deciding between your kids and your new wife, the correct answer is almost always your kids, unless there are like very specific extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, unless your kids are like horrific little shit heels.
Yeah.
But in that case, it's your own goddamn fault, and you should take responsibility for that shit.
Well, not necessarily. There are good people that, despite their best efforts, some people are just fucking shitty.
That's when it comes to going out to a nice
neighbors.
When it comes to going out to a nice dinner with your wife, your new wife, and buying your kid a shit ton of heroin, maybe go out to dinner with the new wife.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That's an extenuating circumstance. Yeah,
because like that's literally the case with one of my next door neighbors. It's like they were both good people. Their son, fucking despicable little shitheel, and I hate the fact that he's back in the neighborhood recently.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to turn over a new leaf because I've seen him doing yard work around her house, but I don't fucking trust him.
Pop was asking if the letter's word for word or is it edited. It appears to be word for word. We have no way to know.
He hasn't fucking hit anybody in a minute. Keep letting him fucking kill me, stupid.
All right.
What is in the background, sir?
My dad's bitching about his game.
Yeah. Right. It sounded like a mobster movie.
You want to do the travel, Dear Abby?
Travel, Dear Abby.
For 25 years.
Got it.
Traveled. Because I have some thoughts on this.
Do while I'm getting ready for that, do a read of the second half on this Mercury News one. See if we want to cover it at a later date.
Excuse me. Yeah, let me check it real quick.
Dear Lesser Saints, I've been independent from my family for 25 years. I have always lived a few hours' drive from them. I now live an hour away from my mother and 3 hours from my sister and her family. For every occasion over those 25 years, I have always visited them, spending time, money on...
Time out. The second one on the Mercury News is really interesting.
Alright, we'll skip back to it, and we'll come back to that one later.
Yeah, let's... Yeah. If we... Right. I'm just skimming through this right now, and I'm like, oh, this is a conundrum that we could actually have, like, a real conversation about.
Alright, reading it now. Dear Lesser Saints, my boyfriend, Will, and I have been together for 7 years. We get along great. I love his close-knit family and adore his parents. He's the youngest of 5 brothers, most of whom I get along with great. The only brother I don't know is the oldest. Rick has been incarcerated for the better part of 30 years for rape. I've always known about him and the sugar-coated circumstances surrounding his incarceration. Recently, Rick has been letting the family know that he has been rehabilitated and will be released with extensive supervision. He told Will he would like to meet me and also connect with his nieces and nephews. He's never met not my children. Upon hearing this, I did some research and found the non-sugar-coated details of his crime. Will has made clear to me he will support his brother's release and is excited to see him. This is the same feeling most of the other family has. Abby, Lesser Saints, the thought of being in Rick's presence terrifies me. I don't believe a person who commits a crime of this magnitude can be rehabilitated. A few others feel the same as I do. I'm worried about the backlash I may receive from his family members, as well as his parents, who wholeheartedly believe Rick's release is warranted. Help, please. Ooh, that is a rough one. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, see why I told you to just fucking stop? Let's do this.
Dude, you should definitely read more than the title.
This wasn't just a standard sort of sexual assault. This is like violent psychopath shit.
Alright.
Yeah, Jables, from now on, you should definitely read the second one as well as the title one, because we could get gems like this.
Yeah. I don't know why they buried... This is the exact definition of burying the lead.
Yeah. Jesus Christ!
We're gonna ease you in before we punt you in the balls.
Yeah, I thought, okay, get along with his family. The only brother he doesn't know is Rick. Okay. Oh!
Alright. So, Rick is now going to be in your life, at least at family functions. Did it say how long he was in?
30 years.
Yeah.
Better part of 30 years. So like 26, 27 probably.
26 to 29.
Yeah.
And she implies pretty heavily that through her own research she found out that what he did was probably something absolutely fucking heinous.
So 26 to 29 years in this day and age is nuts. I think about that scene in Shawshank Redemption when Brooks got let out and he was just like confused by the cars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our technology is moving so fast that 26 years ago, god damn.
Like, to be fair, our answer really does have a little bit of an issue in that we don't know what the full story is. So we are limited in our scope of our knowledge, and we have to make assumptions in order to answer this.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, for a bit of perspective, there are guys who spend less time in the pen for killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dude got a 30-year prison sentence.
Might have had a shitty lawyer.
Something.
Let's be fair.
Well, as again, like from what she said, like doing her own research, she heavily implies that he did something horrific.
Yeah. So, all right. My advice is never be in a room alone with him.
I'd say start off with being honest with Will about your feelings about it. I mean, to be fair, he's only your boyfriend. He's not your husband, so it is possible to still get out if this is a deal breaker for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you think this is a serious relationship that you want, you've been together for 7 years, so this may be something you could be...
marriage is around the corner.
Yeah, it's either around the corner, or to use a phrase that my mom apparently told my dad, either marry me or set me free. That's basically the point they're at right now.
She makes it clear that her boyfriend and the boyfriend's family gave her a deliberately sanitized version of what he was charged with.
Well, okay, so that's also what I've... Because a lot of dudes get falsely accused of rape and shit.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like...
Trust me, I understand that aspect very well as well.
So I'm hedging a lot when we're talking about this.
There's that, and then there's also the fact that you're talking about the family who has not read the actual court documents for over 25 years. Do you think maybe their memory of the situation might have faded in that time? And
That's
he
possible.
Is their son and brother, so they're gonna tend to think better of him than potentially reality.
Right, but there's a whole other part of this that we don't have the information on as well. Is he getting out on probation? Is he gonna have
He's definitely
parole?
getting out on he's getting out on either parole or probation. Basically, he's gonna be
heavily supervised.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and then the question is, what are the terms of his parole and or probation? Is he allowed to be in a room alone with a female, or in a room, or be around kids under the age of 18? Like, there's a bunch of stuff that
I would assume no by the phrase heavily supervised.
Right, but I find it interesting that she doesn't mention any of that, because like one thing, if we're lucky. One thing is that the law will protect people, like the people who would be vulnerable to this person. You have some protections there. Like if your family's like, oh, we're going to let, if he has an issue, if he did heinous things to kids and grandma and grandpa go and leave him alone with some of the grandkids while they run down to the store, you just place a call to the probation office and you handle that shit right then and there.
Yeah.
Just saying,
My advice is meet him in person at a big gathering.
Yep.
Lots of people.
Yeah. First off, be honest with Will. How apprehensive this makes you feel. Because that conversation could lead to the breakup, and then the rest of this isn't your problem.
Also, that amount of time in prison can change someone.
Absolutely.
Sometimes for the worse. So, be honest with your partner. Meet him at like a family gathering. Even if it's just the congratulations, you're out of prison party. Mm-hmm. Try to get a feel. Because she seems like she has a good feel for people. And yeah, judge it, move on from there. Have more discussions, be open with your partner.
Also, there's the fact that he has done his sentence. This sentence has been carried out. I mean, societally, that may mean nothing, but in the eyes of the law, at least, that means that that's that. And it sounds like part of the sentence isn't fully carried out anyway, because he's still going to be extensively supervised. Which means he's probably going to a halfway home.
Well, people that have long sentences generally are on parole or probation, just to be hey, don't get too wild, you just got out. You know, it's sort of that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's probably going to a halfway house that's supposed to help him acclimate to real life. Yeah. And even once he gets out of there, he'll probably never be... He'll probably be in minimum wage jobs for the rest of his life.
Yeah, communicate with your partner. And just sort of... Don't meet up with them privately yet. I don't know, maybe he totally changed while he was in there.
We're not arguing, Puff. They didn't give away the info because of anonymity, I'm sure. That being said, it's harder to make a judgment call without all the info.
Right.
And I don't even know if I don't know if Apprehensive even has any kids. There is no statement about her having kids. Just the nieces and nephews that this guy hasn't met. They may be Will's kids. They may be the kids of Will's brothers.
Yeah.
We don't know. All right, let's see what...
Try to get a feel for it, and then, you know.
Let's see what Abby... but I think her biggest issue is that she doesn't think people like this can change. So my guess is it's probably not... it probably has to do with someone underage.
Well...
Again,
also, a woman coming face to face with a known rapist is kind of intimidating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know? Oh, I'm not saying that detracts from her stuff. I'm just saying that
one that caught a 30-year prison sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not like that's intimidating in and of itself. Just knowing that,
because as I said,
a person that has done these things.
There are guys who spend less time in prison for killing people. So it's like, what the fuck did you do?
All right, let's find out what Abby had to say. I understand your apprehension. However, Brother Rick, I like how she makes him sound like a priest. Brother Rick will have served his time, and when he's released, it won't be without strings attached. If you want a relationship with Will, you're going to have to meet his brother. Of course, it will be under supervised conditions, with your boyfriend and other relatives, so you won't be alone with him. As you get to know Rick, it will happen in stages. You may become less fearful of him. Your intuition will guide you. However, if you are still uncomfortable after that, you may have to end your relationship with Will.
Yep, that was my advice.
Yeah,
that was our advice.
That pretty much checks out.
Oh, shout out to Anonymous Gifter, gifted Skull Maggot at tier 1 sub. Thanks.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Super nice.
It's been a long time since somebody's been gifted a sub here.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time since we had an audience on Twitch.
Yeah, that was pretty much our advice.
Yeah.
A little more in depth, but yeah, basically the same.
Yeah.
Step 1, talk to Will. If step 1 becomes the last step you end up taking because you break up with Will, it's not your problem. Step 2, if you are still with Will, you're gonna have to get to know him.
Alright. You want to do the traveling one real quick?
It is after 3, but yeah, let's hit that one up. Why not?
Because I do have a lot of stuff to say about this. Sorry I interrupted you earlier, but I thought that one was too juicy to pass up.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying you definitely have to start reading these before, at least the second one, before.
Yeah, I've been skimming like the first ones. I just totally don't even look at the second one.
This one only has one, so that helps. Dear Lesser Saints, I have been independent from my family for 25 years. I have always lived a few hours' drive from them. I now live an hour away from my mother and 3 hours from my sister and her family. For every occasion over the past 25 years, I have always visited them, spending time, money on gas, putting thousands of miles on my car, and sometimes taking time off from work. Never has anyone visited me, other than once when my sister was passing through and wanted to have lunch. I have invited my family countless times, but there's always an excuse. Often it's that my place is too small to accommodate them and that I have a roommate. I'm expected to spend my resources visiting them or go broke to have a place that can accommodate them. I am reminded of this lopsided situation every time my roommate's family visits multiple times per year. They stay in hotels. I'm not confrontational. I love my family, but I feel some boundaries need to be established. Am I unreasonable? If not, do you have any suggestions? All on me in Florida. And Jables went pee. He's the one with things to say.
Yeah. Well, I haven't thought about it. Like, I could throw my stuff out there while he's peeing.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, again, we're missing information. Like, does this person's sister have kids? What kind of income does the rest of the family make in comparison to the person with the roommate? You know, there's a lot of factors.
When she heads home, does she stay at her parents' house or does she get a hotel?
Right.
Yeah.
And and especially like with does it say whether or not the sister if there's any kids involved? Because like if you
sister and her family, so I would assume husband and kids.
Yeah.
Right.
That implies kids.
See, like my sister has like 6 kids. I don't think I've ever lived in a place where my sister could have come over and just stayed at my place. You know, like we go to her place a lot because she had a big house which could accommodate all of the family to go visit, right? So, of course, that's just kind of one of the things. Like, if there's kids involved, then like money's a little tighter. Although I do get where this person's coming from too. It's like, hey, I spend money to come see you. You know, maybe you could return the favor.
Yeah, like my sister has a great big old house now. Place is huge. But at the same time, depending on traffic conditions, she's also like a half hour, 45-minute drive from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I go to travel to visit my parents and everything, and my parents do a thing every other year for 4th of July where the whole family gets together. Because my parents have the space for it. I can't have get-togethers at my spot, because, I mean...
Yeah, they'd be packed in there like sardines.
That's my apartment. That's it. There's a bedroom over there, but other than that, that's my apartment.
Yeah, we're in my office. I have a house. Yeah. Right now, I'm in my office. I've got a couch behind me. It's not as clean as I'd like it. Because we had to throw a bunch of shit in here. But,
my sister lives...
I have enough room that Jables will at some point come down and stay a weekend, and we'll do the show here.
That'd be nice. In 2 months until I get my money right, man. But yeah, like I don't know. My sister lives a 5 to 10 minute walk away, probably about 7 minutes. And I never see her unless I run into her at the bar or something. Your family has other shit going on. You live with a roommate. You're single. You are able to just get up and go and travel. That's what's going on here. Now, if you want your family to come and visit you, I don't know what their financial status is like, but your roommate's family stays at a hotel nearby. If your family's relatively well off, then suggest that. Hey, come visit me, hang out, or if you have enough money, get a hotel room for them. And just be like, hey, come and visit. And I'm not saying like the whole family. I'm saying like, hey, mom and dad, I'd love for you to visit me. There's a hotel nearby. I'll pay for a hotel room for you guys. Do that.
Like,
and then
because like the whole tone of this comes off pretty combative. It's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Put all these resources into going to see them, or like make myself go broke trying to get a bigger place to accommodate them? Like they always have an excuse why they don't come see me.
Yeah, they have lives.
I was gonna say, like, you know, you come off as pretty fucking bitter here, and I'm not sure.
My excuse for not visiting my parents more often is I'm a bit broke right now.
Like,
it's not like I can't afford
my
a bus ticket.
I visit my grandmother at least once a week, but that's not an issue for me because one, I'm out of work and there's nowhere else that I need to be, and two, she's like 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
Pov's talking about a situation where his brother doesn't come home all that often for the past 13 years, but he's in the military. There's a little bit of a difference there. You can't just on a whim say, hey, I'm gonna head home this weekend to visit my folks.
Yeah.
You have liberty limits. I remember when I was active duty in the Marines, our liberty limit for a 96, my parents' house was basically right on the border for a 4-day weekend. Anything shorter than a 4-day weekend, we were not allowed to get to go out far enough for me to actually go home and visit my parents, unless I got a specific, unless I got paperwork signed saying yes, you can go outside the liberty. Here's an exception, or I took leave.
Yeah. Like if I were...
And that's paperwork you have to get other people to say yes on. And technically they can't say no unless there's like a very specific reason. But they always find a way if they can, or they'll wait till the absolute last minute. And if you have to fly anywhere, you have to buy those tickets in advance. But if you know for a fact that the moment that you do, they will deny your leave. So you've got to wait until they approve it before you pay for the ticket, and then the tickets are expensive as fuck.
Yeah. If I go to visit my parents, it's like I've never took a plane to go there, but it's like a $50 bus ticket, $50-$60. And then once I get there, they have to pick me up, obviously. Or I have to ride with my cousin or my sister to just like go out there for shenanigans. And then it's like a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
That's just... But yeah, if you have enough money to go out there all the time, you have enough money to pay for a hotel room for your parents. So
yeah, it's like if you're paying an expense either way,
make it easy on them. Is essentially what I'm saying. Rent an Airbnb nearby, and you all hang out together. Everybody comes in.
Yeah. Depending on the location, it can be potentially cheaper than a hotel stay. And much more space.
Even throw out like, hey, I'll pay the majority, but if you guys pitch in this amount, you know, let's all get an Airbnb together up here because I want to show you some of my local spots around here. You know, something. You're putting in a lot of effort to travel down to see them, and you want them to see you. Give them... This is going to sound like rude and harsh, but give them more of a reason to come and see you. Show them a cool restaurant. Something.
Yeah, incentive helps.
Let's see what Abby has to say. If it is not practical to continue traveling to your relatives, stop doing it. Do not stop inviting them to visit you, however, and when you do, tell them you know they would be more comfortable staying in a nearby hotel or motel, which is what your roommate's family has been doing for years.
Bullshit advice.
Absolute shit advice.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Why on earth would they go there other than just seeing you is probably great, but you're giving them zero other reason.
Agreed, Skull. What kind of advice is that? Bad advice. That's the kind of advice.
Yeah.
You know,
that was
like
step
my
one
sister,
of
you know,
that was step one of my advice.
I do want to see my niece and nephew. I do want to see my sister, but again, 30 to 45 minutes is not exactly a short trip. And, you know, with gas the way it is right now, it's an expense that I can't justify.
That is a short trip for me, but I also live 30 minutes away from the nearest city, so...
Yeah, to see my nieces and nephews, I have to hop on a bus for 5 to 6 hours. And even if I do travel even if my sister or my cousin drives me, or like we share the driving or whatever, that's still 4.5 to 5 hours. Yeah.
Basically, what you're saying is that you have to plan it in advance, and it needs to be kind of like an event to make it a worthwhile thing for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, and what she should do is make an event out of it.
Right.
So that her whole family comes up.
Last time I went and saw my sister, it was my niece's first birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe if she had a husband.
Instead of a roommate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Get an Airbnb in the area. And then show your family all your favorite spots. And then in the future, they might want to come up and rent a hotel room and be like, "Hey, I really like the food at this spot. Can we go there?" Totes.
Yeah, or try to plan out like an off-season family get-together, because in the off seasons, hotels and things like that are cheaper, and you can probably get a pretty decent package deal.
Yeah.
And like talk to your family about it ahead of time and go, hey, I'd like you, and just expanding on what you're saying, hey, I'd like you guys to come see me, and this is happening, and I want to do this with you. Would you be willing to do this?
Using the noggin, Deana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like every time my parents come to town, they tend to stay in a hotel, and but they're very adamant. Hey, we made it into town. We're going to bed right now, but in the morning we're having breakfast here, because there's a breakfast place near me that they really like. Deana, you've been there.
This place we went to? Oh, it's
on the corner.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's such I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I miss it already.
So they're really adamant about it. There's a lot of really good food in my neighborhood.
You do. Yeah. Like, I know
Too bad the neighborhood itself is going to shit.
I have to.
Huh?
Too bad the neighborhood itself is going to shit.
Actually, it's getting better. Yeah, it's being gentrified. I'm seeing gentrification in real time. It's really interesting.
I wouldn't. I drove through my old neighborhood on Friday and had the thought, holy shit, I think we got out of here just in time.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty sight in my old neighborhood, and I'm very saddened by it.
Pav, you and I hung out at the pizza place, not the breakfast place. So.
The pizza place is so good too, though. Their pizza there is good.
My neighborhood's been on a bit of a downturn for a little bit. It hasn't been as bad lately, though. But for a while there was like a court right down. There was like a cul-de-sac right down the street from me that was always getting raided by the cops because of drug shit.
Hold on, real quick. I have to probe Pav. Don't expose the place. No,
that was a bar.
Did it have a large back patio? Large back patio? Okay, yeah. That's not the one with the fireplace and like all the wire tables and stuff. Oh, it was on the corner? Oh. No, pizza place did. Okay. Was the bar top made of pennies?
Waiting for confirmation.
Rimshee was also there? Pav, that's not even in my neighborhood.
Like I said, that's a bar.
Every place in Seattle is a bar.
That's because no one wants to live there because they all want to get drunk.
Yeah. Pav, you're talking about I think 5 Point. Yeah, that's way outside of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's okay, Skull. We're all confused.
Yep. Tends to happen when we start to go over time. Just starts to
Yeah,
meander
we're well
until it
over time at
fizzles
this
out.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Pav, did
Yeah,
you know the owner of that bar got arrested for sexual assault?
What?
Please tell me he sexually assaulted a goat, because that would just be funny.
Oh.
That would be funny. No, I don't know if he actually got sexually assaulted, if he actually got arrested, but people were trying to cancel him for a long time because he was a creep.
He was a creep.
Yeah, Pav, you're talking about the place where they just like have a shower floor and then a bunch of ice, and that's what you piss into. Yeah.
What? What the hell? What kind of places do you go to, Jables?
These are the things you should have asked before you started dating him.
Rimshee went into that bathroom. He knows what's up.
Yeah, I missed.
You missed
I was
the
going to
ice
say, it's
on
like,
the floor? Oh my god.
Rimshee's a Marine. That would not be the most unusual place that he's pissed.
Right?
Yeah.
However, that place does have great mimosas and great food. So,
just don't use the bathroom there?
In fact, compared to some places, it's just like, oh, shower floor with some ice? This is an upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, I really shouldn't like get all spicy about that because there have been I think the bars that used to do this no longer do it, but I remember there being bars up here in Alaska where like underwear and bras were like stapled to the walls of bars, decorating the walls and the bar itself, and it's just like, yeah. Anyway, but so it's not like all the bars up here are like fancy. They're definitely not. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up.
I mean, there's nothing inherently fancy about a bar.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, none of the good ones.
Depends on the bar. Your generic bar, yeah, nothing fancy. But once you start getting into those high-end members-only bars, ooh.
Well,
they got gold-plated condoms and...
Ooh, and somebody
Yeah.
who hands you a towel when you're in the bathroom.
And the mirrors are platinum-plated so that you don't lose your cocaine and...
Here's the thing. I'm a man of the people.
Oh, God.
I don't want to go to bars like that. I don't belong in bars like that.
True.
Let me be with the people. Let me sit around, do a couple card tricks, and scam somebody out of a fucking beer.
Yeah, it's like, I want to go to the drinking establishment where some guy walks in and is like, what would you like with your drinks? It's like, I want a fucking slice of pizza. Get the shit away from me.
Yeah. I like
That's
bar I
when
go to.
that guy...
It's very well known.
Nachos, chicken tenders.
It's very well known that the bar that I currently go to, which I haven't been to in like a month, but if I sit down, anybody that knows me knows to leave me alone until I'm like 2 rounds and a slice of pizza in.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that place. The place, there are some really cool places in your neighborhood. And I really loved I only got a few pictures in your neighborhood when I was down there visiting, but they did turn out really nice.
That's cool.
I liked them. Yeah. What? You saw
that's
them.
cool. Yeah.
There's like one that you don't like, but the only reason you don't like it is because you're in it, but it's a great picture of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody takes good pictures of me. it's not possible.
Well, obviously, it's not possible. You're always wearing sunglasses and a mask.
Yeah.
That's a reference. Yeah, I do frequently take the Unabomber look, don't I?
Yeah.
It's because none of you motherfuckers need to know what my face looks like.
Oh man, you brought that up, and then it just made me think of when you do deliveries, and I'm like, ooh.
Just make me curious.
Huh?
When you were doing deliveries, and you're all like, yeah, no, I do the Unabomber look. I'm all like, just imagining you at the door. Ma'am, this is your package. Come, do you want me just to set it here? Why are you... Why does it look like you're calling 911? I'm gonna leave now.
It's a bomb. I mean, it's not a bomb. I mean, it's a package.
It's bath bombs.
Because
it's bath bombs, ma'am.
Because of the fallout of the COVID shit, that was actually one of the good things about my job is that I didn't have to fucking knock on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put the package on the doorstep, take a picture, and leave.
Right.
And I'm totally cool with that too.
Mm-hmm.
No, when lockdowns first started happening, and they first put that like leave at the door option for Uber Eats, I just got a message from a guy that was like, "Nah, I don't do that." Then why'd you take the fucking order?
Right.
So I had to walk out. Yeah.
You had to walk out? What? You had to walk out and meet the dude who was giving you your food? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Sorry for the cussing, but like, yeah, I know.
What? What are you talking about? Do you listen to me on this show?
I don't know. I weirdly censor myself randomly.
We are 40 minutes overtime.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're in overtime. Thank you, everybody that watched. Thank you, everybody that listened. To the people in the waiting room. Thomas Steed, I haven't seen you in a while. I might pull you in for like an after show chat. Also, Scully, I might pull you in too. Yes, the show's at the end. It's not coming to an end. It is the end. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back same time, same place. Whatever. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. We're all Mexican today. Woo!
Yay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a real fucking...
Hmm.
Let